Years ago, I was stuck. Every day felt like a repeat of the one before. I was overwhelmed by failures. I thought success required huge changes and big decisions, but I didn't know how to get there. I was exhausted. Giving up felt like my only option until I found something that would change everything. One night, I stumbled across the idea of the 1% rule. Could something so small really make a difference? I had nothing left to lose. I decided to give it a try, and that decision would change my life. My first step was tiny. I set my alarm 10 minutes earlier. It felt insignificant, but it was my first 1% improvement. That morning, I spent those 10 minutes stretching and planning my day. It felt like I had control, even if just a little. Day by day, that 10 minutes turned into something more. I began setting small goals, just 1 or 2 things a day. The tasks were tiny, but completing them gave me a sense of purpose. It wasn't much, but I was moving forward. It wasn't all smooth sailing. Some days, progress felt too slow. I was tempted to give up, go back to my old habits. I remember one day in particular where I felt like I hadn't made any progress at all. Frustration hit hard. But then I reminded myself, it's not about perfection. It's about showing up and taking one small step. Then something changed. One morning, I realized I'd completed all my goals for the past week. It was working. These were small things: cleaning my workspace, finishing a book chapter, taking a walk, but they added up. Each 1% improvement was compounding. I wasn't perfect, but I was getting better every day, bit by bit. As the days turned into weeks, my habits started to stick. Waking up earlier, reading 10 minutes, gratitude journaling. These changes felt small at first, but over time they became a part of who I was. I was no longer aiming for perfect. I was aiming for consistency. It was about showing up every day, no matter how small the steps were. I learned about the compound effect, how small improvements, done consistently, lead to massive results over time. I applied the 1% rule to everything: my work, my relationships, my health. I no longer felt overwhelmed. Instead of huge goals, I asked myself, how can I get just a little better today? The answer was always manageable. Looking back, I barely recognized the person I was before. I hadn't made one giant leap. I made hundreds of tiny ones. Each day, I got 1% better, and over time, those tiny actions transformed my life. It didn't happen overnight, but it happened. I was finally becoming the person I wanted to be through small, consistent actions that compounded over time. I realized success isn't about giant leaps. It's about small, consistent steps. The 1% rule changed everything for me. If you focus on getting just 1% better each day, those tiny actions will add up to something incredible over time. The 1% rule is simple but powerful. And the best part is it's something anyone can do. If you're feeling stuck, try the 1% rule. Start with something small. It doesn't have to be perfect, just a little better. Remember, every journey starts with a single step. Make that step today. The smallest change can create momentum. Whether it's waking up earlier, reading a page, or taking a walk, just do it. Start your 1% journey today. Your transformation starts with one small action. It's not about huge leaps, but small steps taken consistently. If this story inspired you, share it, subscribe, and join me on this journey of lifelong improvement. Together, we can grow 1% at a time. Let's make this journey step by step and create something incredible.